and this is my morning car chat. I'm headed on my way to school. And thank you to those who have been watching my last couple videos. It's been a while since I've done the morning car chat. And I'm just headed to school this morning. We are going to be starting school at 8 a.m. So we're actually an hour later than normal because this is teacher work week and I guess we're easing into the schedule. So we are going to be starting at 9 today. And it is cold. It is 58 degrees. Hey, Rebecca. It is cold in New Hampshire. It is like really not usually this cold this time of year. Last week we were in the 90s, and this week we're in the 58s. Yesterday I think it was 60 on my way to school, and then it did warm up, but it's a little chilly. And usually we don't turn on the heat this time of year. 58 seems kind of cold, but we don't turn up the heat until, it gets really cold. And at our house, we heat with wood. So we start a fire anytime, but we try to wait until it's really necessary. So we layer, we put on our coats and our layers. And today it is actually raining, which is kind of good because it's been very dry around here. So it is raining, it is very dry, so it's good that we're getting some rain. And I think I saw some leaves falling off some trees today on my way out of my driveway. So that means fall's coming. Yeah. Well, school starting means fall's coming. Fall in New Hampshire means we have beauty, we have trees, we have apples are ripening. We have obviously harvest time. We have, what else do we have in New Hampshire? We have fall school, obviously. Oh, the Deerfield Fair. The Deerfield Fair is where we go. It's an agricultural fair. I have a few videos on my channel of the Deerfield Fair. And it is a time where, when I first moved to town 20 some odd years ago, I was homeschooling and I had a bunch of little kids, and the Deerfield Fair, you'd pay one price for the adults, and then everybody under 12 was free. And it was, agriculture. So there's animals, there's farm animals. We have horses and pigs and cows and chickens, anything you can imagine for agriculture. Plus, there are people that show their vegetables and things that they have grown over the summer, as well as flower arrangements. I remember last year I thought I might do a flower arrangement this year, but I haven't done it. People will grow flowers in their garden and then they will show it in the fair. Also crafts. So that's the part I like, crafts. I do some crocheting and some knitting and photography and things like that. Kids can put stuff in the fair, and if you make something, usually it gets a blue ribbon, a red ribbon, or a white ribbon. And if you get a blue ribbon, you get like $7 or $8 back. And if you have a red ribbon, it's a little less, and a white ribbon is just, honorable mention, I think. I don't know if you get any money for that, but so I'm making a few items for that. Thank you guys for coming to my channel. Thanks for the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all who have been coming to my channel. I'm looking for watch time these days, and I'm headed on to school. Thank you for coming by. I'm from New Hampshire, and New Hampshire weather today is rainy. Oh, we went up 1 degree. It's 59 degrees, so that's really good. And so yesterday I shared some funny stories about my grandson who loves to fish. And he had some fun fish stories for the summer. And I went back and watched it to see if I thought it was any good. So you might want to check that out. I thought it was kind of cute. He is 9 years old. Sometimes I forget how old they are, but you know, every year they get a little older, so it's hard to keep track. Even though I'm a math teacher, it's hard. The years go by so fast, I can't keep up. So anyway, that was funny. And I love to tell stories about my family because people have a hard time believing I have 13 children. I have a hard time believing it too. So I have to go back in time and think about it because it just kind of hard to believe I had 13 children. My youngest child is a senior in high school this year. So all of my kids after this year will have graduated high school. And I had my first 6 graduated homeschool. And we kind of went to school when my first couple kids were, it's kind of a long story, but we did move around a little bit. And one year that my oldest was in first grade, she went to public school for a few months. And I am 100 years old. Actually, I'm not 100, but pretty close. And so my oldest one went to public school for a few months. And then after that, we ended up working at a Christian school where they could go to school. And my husband worked there. And we were there for 3 years. And then we moved. And then I homeschooled for like 15 years. I have to sit down and write out the numbers. But I homeschooled. So the first 6 graduated homeschool. And my oldest, when she graduated, we did like a graduation right in the yard. And it was gorgeous. It was an amazing experience. We got like one of those tent things, and we put up chairs. We had music. We did it like a regular graduation right in the front yard. It was really nice. And the second child, we did that as well. The third child, we actually had a graduation in the yard as well. Number 4. Okay, number 4, he actually went to school his junior and senior year. So he graduated from an actual Christian school. And so that he was the first one to graduate from a school. He was my first boy, and he really didn't like homeschool that much, and he was kind of giving me a hard time. He needed to, get out of the house and have a change of scenery. So he went to school, and I was struggling with him at home, but when he went to school, he got straight A's in everything. So he's basically genius status. And he did a great job while he was there. So it was a good choice for us. Thank you so much. May God bless you and your family. Thank you so much. Yes, God has blessed us. And so number 5, she was one that was very adventurous. So she moved right away on her own. And then number 6, he graduated from homeschool as well. He also did Civil Air Patrol. He got his, what you call, Mitchell Award, which means that you went through the whole entire program and you graduated, and that was a really good thing for him. So then when I had 7 kids at home, I really was having a hard time because I really missed the older kids, even though I couldn't wait till they grew up because they were driving me crazy. When they finally did move out, I was like in shock. And so I was like, we need a change of scenery. So I went to teach at a Christian school so all my kids could come with me to school, and they had new friends. They were meeting friends their own age, and I needed a situation where we could go to school and I didn't have to do everything. Like, okay, we do school at home, then we go here for sports, here for music, here to visit with friends, and it just seemed like life was just too chaotic. And so we went to school, and it was all in one package. Everything was there. We had friends, we had sports, we had music there, and everything seemed to be really a great situation while we were there. We were at that school for 3 years, and then we had to move to another school. And then we were there for 3 years, and then we had 1 year homeschool because of the COVID thing. And then I ended up coming to the school I'm at now, and this is going to be my 5th year there. Do you know what your kids are working as? Of course I do. I know that I won't say specifically everything, but they are all really, really hard workers. I have one child is a homeschool parent, which is awesome. Then I have one that went into the Army. I have one that works a full-time job but also does entrepreneurial type skills. So they're all doing really well, and they all work really hard. They're leaders in their workplaces, and so I'm really proud of them. So I have one daughter who's going to be graduating college in May, and she has been working, and her company that she works for pays for her education, so she's able to get through college, and she's doing great. I have my son, my youngest boy, is going to be graduating high school this year, and so they're all pursuing their hardworking goals, and so I'm very proud of them. Yeah, and so not all of them live near me. That's the only problem. They don't all live near me. They live, a few of them live near me, and then a lot of them live in Georgia. That's why we went down to Georgia last couple weeks ago. So I have Georgia, I have somebody that lives out west, and then I have a few that live not too far from me, and they are amazing people, and I love spending time with them. And I do have one huge heartbreak, which 2 years ago, my son in January was skiing, and he had a skiing accident, and I haven't spoken a lot about it because it still hurts like the dickens, and I can't really talk about it. And he was an amazing person, and going to school reminds me of him because he loved school, and he wanted to go to school. I think he wanted to be a professional student. He was on track to he wanted to be a doctor, and he wanted to be a neurosurgeon, which is a huge goal, but he was ready for it. And so that's a heartbreak that is always there, and not something I really like to talk about just because it hurts so much. And it's just, I don't know if I'm just spoiled because, I know that this world, we aren't going to live forever. I'm a Christian. I know God. I know the Lord. I believe that heaven is a better place. So I know these things in my head, but it just, it's hard to understand, and it's hard to give up that disappointment. You're so proud of those that and it's disappointing that I didn't get to see him reach his goals. But he did know the Lord, so we trust that he's with the Lord. And one day I was at the kitchen, and I was I was just doing the dishes, And I just felt like I could hear him telling me, I'm okay, I'm okay. You know, I don't like hear voices from him or anything like that, but that day I felt like God was giving me assurance that he's okay. And I would love to tell more about him, but I can't right now. But anyway, today's a rainy day, and I'm headed to school, and I am setting up my classroom, and I have done different themes for my classroom to kind of brighten the mood because I teach math. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for those who are watching and those who watch later. So I have set up my classroom like Candyland, you know, oh, it's going to be so much fun. And I teach math, you know, so it's not always the most exciting class for some people. I try to make it a fun theme. One year I did like all greenery because I had a tower garden and I was excited about growing plants and stuff like that. And so this year I was like, what should I do? And I know that, you know, I was thinking about my grandson Fred and how he loves animals, and kids love going to the zoo. And I said, you know, how about if I do a zoo theme? So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, is I'm doing a zoo theme. And it's not like we're going to do a lot of zoo stuff. It's just when they walk in, it's kind of a fun environment, you know. So I have like animal print borders. I do have greenery. I incorporated my greenery so that I could kind of recycle some of my decorations, so it works together well. And I have I ordered some animal print borders, and I went to the store near us. It's like it's a discount store, and they have everything in it. I don't go there very often, but they have curtains, and I found curtains with horses on them. So I have one window, and it has I don't know what you call it, swag, and it has horses on it. So I got that, and I got sheets that have animal print. And I got off of Amazon, I got some posters with sayings, and usually I have on the back wall, I'll have these posters that have sayings that inspire you. And if they get wandering, maybe during study hall, they're staring at the walls, they can read those sayings, and they're kind of encouraging. So these have animals on them, like a llama, monkey, I don't know, all different ones. So I have that on my back wall. So it's kind of like greenery and animals and a zoo theme. Not zoo. Yeah, zoo. Not the jungle, not wildlife necessarily, but kind of a zoo theme, welcome to the zoo. So I thought it was going to be fun. So hopefully the kids will enjoy it. Last year I did red, white, and blue because it was a year that we were voting, as a country. So I did everything red, white, and blue. I had an eagle, flags, God bless the USA, stuff like that. And so it'll be totally different than that. Also I got elected last year, so that was kind of exciting. I don't know if the kids really cared that much about that, but kind of give them the knowledge that, yeah, we're voting and it's important, and someday this will be you. So this year I'm doing the zoo. Welcome to our zoo, and it's just fun. And I got some calendars with animals on them. I got some other animal type stickers, and just putting animals everywhere. And hopefully it will be a fun theme for them. So then when they walk into the room, it'll be kind of like, oh, I like being here because I love the animals. And I did that one year. I taught 5th grade, and I had this idea of a theme, and then when I met, it was a new school, and I met the kids, and I was like, these kids are the most dog-loving people I have ever met in my life. So I just redid the theme and made it all dogs. And I got calendars with dogs, and I figured, you know, that way they can look at something they really like. So that's what I am doing. I'm not probably the best decorator compared to some of the other teachers. Some of them have the most amazing talents. It's astounding. I usually have math students. They're usually in my room just during their one class, and that's it. They move on. Hello, Nifty 50. Thank you for coming to the channel, and thank you so much for saying hello. And I'm headed off to school, and I'm just kind of plugging along. I'm behind a truck right now, just kind of taking it easy, driving along. It's a rainy morning in New Hampshire. I also want to mention that this Saturday we're going to be having a virtual teacher meetup, and so far I have Kelly Tag, Evelyn Joy, and Nifty 50 is going to be with us hopefully on Saturday, and maybe a couple more. You know, I have the announcement up on YouTube, and I hope that, you know, it interests people that are in our circles. We have a lot of friends that do virtual teaching, and we have a company that we all worked for at one point in time, and a lot of us have moved on to new ventures. I know Nifty 50 does ESL on outschool.com, and she has helped me a lot with different things regarding that. I have been working VIP Kid this summer for a summer job, and I also have some personal independent clients. So that is really what I want to do, but I'm telling you, it's kind of scary because, you know, independent clients are harder because you have to book things, you have to schedule things. It's good because if you change the time, it's a lot easier than when you work for another company. But when you work for yourself, you can do conflicts, you can, you know, people can say they're going to book and then they don't. So it's kind of really kind of scary to go out on your own, but it's also very rewarding. I had a new student that I had first time last night, and it was so exciting to have a new student. And this student, I've been talking to the mother through Facebook for over a year, and we finally, you know, connected, and I'm helping her student. So that's really exciting, and I just, you know, hope that I can do a good job with it. And that's my thing right now, is doing a good job, having the experience. I work full time, but I also I only have a few independent students, so I'm not going to be like going hog wild right now with many students. I teach math, and so it's just, I teach on Zoom, so that's different for both of us. Well, I teach online through a company, and they provide all the slides. So when you tutor, you're kind of doing your own thing, and you have to meet their expectations. So it's a lot. But, you know, you can make more money, and, you know, a lot of things are easier when you work for yourself. So we'll see how this goes. So I'm not looking to find 1 million students. I just want a few model students so that I can continue this. Eventually, I will grow this situation that I'm working on. It has been a while. But for right now, I'm headed to school. We have in-service teachers. I love being a part of a teacher community. The school I'm at, I'm in my 5th year, and it has grown every single year. The first year I was there, we grew by a building. We didn't have the building done yet. So we had to meet in one spot, and then we had to move after a few weeks of starting school into the new building. Then the next year we had to move, we brought another building in, and I had to move my classroom to that other building. And this year we might have the maximum students we can have in the space that we have. And so we have more teachers, so that means more friends. So that's really exciting. And so it's been really exciting to be part of a school that is growing, because the last 2 schools I was at, they're not really growing right now. They're they want to keep, they keep it, well, they do it the way they want to do it, but I kind of like having a school where it's growing. There's new people, there's new excitement, there's just possibilities of reaching more people. And my son is graduating from high school this year, and he has met friends that he has, that will be his lifelong friends. So that's another advantage, which you can get through homeschool as well. You can get in your neighborhood as well. There are many ways to make friends like that, but for right now, it's working for us, and this will be my last year. So this is my 5th year at this school. Last year, my son is graduating, and I'm not sure exactly what is coming in the future. I'm thinking I will continue teaching there. This year I'm going to be working with Thursdays off, because when I go to the State House, I need Thursdays off. So they are accommodating that, which is also very unheard of, I guess you'd say. So, yeah. Oh, shoot. Okay, so I'm going to sign off, and I will talk to you guys next time. I am headed off on my way, and I'll see you in the next video.